So before we go anywhere into this video, I wanted to give a big thanks to all of the people that came up and said hello, especially my boy Zane for having me sign his helmet. It gave him all the watts because he said he went 5 hours faster this year than last year. So that's insane. Good job, Zane. You're a baller. And then everybody else that said hello, we really appreciate it. If you see me at a race, come up, say what's up. It's cool. And also, for all the people that came up and said hello, buy some merch from us because we got merch now. And then I can find you guys at the races because you'll be wearing this and I'll be like, I know that shirt.
So like before Trey got there, I like told him, I was like, you're gonna have like so many people. Like, did it feel weird to have people want to take photos with you?
No, it's awesome. We appreciate you guys.
No, I meant just from like it's a really cool thing from their perspective, but like it's just bizarre that you are like a cycling celebrity, right?
It's awesome. Yeah.
The first time it happened to me, I was literally just like, my mind was just like blank, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, so really, what I'm trying to say is thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And all the people that were like, check out my tires, I bought them from you guys online. I was like, yes, that's awesome. Said you couldn't wait for this video, so I want to start with the bike because it's more fun than talking about the race. The race was cool too, and that'll be fun, but you guys are all already saw like the bike setup, I would assume, on my Instagram and stuff, because I did a bike check there.
We also made 3 videos about it.
We made videos. I ended up putting the Aero bottle on with some like Aero duct tape action, because everybody in the comments was like, you gotta run the Trek Aero bottle. It just sat there like it was supposed to. I ran the Dubnatals. I don't know how so many people got away in this race with smaller tires and less puncture-proof tires, like Thunderbirds and stuff. There was a lot of people running skinny tires and tires that I know are more flat-prone than these, but I got so many punctures.
There was a dude.
I had at least 3 punctures. One of them ended up being worse than the others. I plugged it and it still was leaking, but you can see how big it is. Maybe you can see that. It's like a giant hole, and it goes all the way over to here too. We should pull it out.
That's what I was just gonna.
It's like a big hole.
That's why I was just gonna do it.
But there's other, let's see if we can find one real quick.
This works, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like stand starts.
Plugs.
I wonder if I can fix it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I gotta find, there's a gash there. There was another really big one. There's a big one there. There was one more that was like just straight across. Anyways, the rear tire had one puncture I had to plug, one other one that I heard, but it sealed, and then my front had another big one that sealed, and then another really big one that didn't seal, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Don't worry, dude.
But yeah, I had to plug that, and then had to like re-pump it up like 3 times during the race. We ran some of that secret wax that we can't talk about yet. It didn't last, but looking at the chain, I don't think anything would have lasted. We're gonna check the bearings, the Pagacha bearings that we put in there, and see how it still spins. I haven't checked this yet, so it'll be interesting. Do you think it's gonna spin, Chase?
Yeah. That looks like it spins.
Dude, perfectly fine.
There is movement.
Let's see if we can spin this big guy.
I'm actually impressed with how well it's spinned. Ooh.
Okay. The bearing's fine. There's just junk caught up in the actual like pulley wheels themselves, but the bearings are good. I think I'll still disassemble and clean and re-lube those.
I mean, you might as well.
Another thing that happened is my lever came like extremely loose. It's obviously tight now, but it was like flopping around. And then, yeah, my reserve broke. This is probably what everybody wants to know about.
Your wheel just went kaboom.
It is completely shattered. Somebody said I should have just put a tube in it. I don't think that
would have worked.
I don't think that would have worked.
It's
That's
not like the carbon shards would just like.
We need to pull the tape off and look underneath it. Look at this, dude.
That
is crazy. Yeah, so this wheel is obviously done. A tube would not have fixed my puncture.
No, it would have just.
I don't think
it would have flattened immediately.
The tire wouldn't go back on this wheel. There's no way.
So how did that happen?
I don't know. Let's start
Start with your race.
Let's start from the beginning. If you guys are watching this, I would assume you've probably watched other people's videos already. Everyone said that this was the hardest like start to an Unbound ever. Most people, or most years, this race starts like relatively chill because it's 200 miles and you can't go full gas for 200 miles. This year was different. I think because everybody's just so good now, you can race 200 miles like full gas. And that's what we did. I went into this race way differently than I usually go into races. Like, you know, I talked about at Sea Otter how I like purposely went easy at the start so I didn't blow up. I didn't do that this year. I went full gas from the gun with everybody else. Try to make the early break because I talked about that with Drew and Chase and a couple other guys, but everyone had the same idea. The brake would not go. We tried multiple times. It was hard. And eventually a group of like 30 guys got away. I don't know how far into the race that was, but I didn't make that. And I don't even know when it happened. Like, we were just rolling fast and I guess some dudes just went up. But I was still up towards the front-ish.
I mean, you were leading the race at
I
one
did
point.
lead the race for one point. Throw up that picture.
Shout out to Orange Seal. I know you guys were trying specifically to get a photo of Trey.
Yeah, really appreciate it. I felt good the whole day until my wheel broke. Well, I still felt good then too. Pulled up my training peaks here. We got the whole race. I made it 5 hours and 59 minutes and 54 seconds. So close to riding for 6 hours. We got 2.5 hours in, 60 miles, normalized 318 watts, 24.3 miles an hour for the first 2.5 hours.
It's a little speedy.
We were hauling. I think there was a couple like of the B road or off-road sections in there, like the more than gravel sections. So even with those muddy off-road sections, we were still going real fast. So that's where I flatted, 2.5 hours in, roughly. You can see I took more time to try to fix it there. And then I'll get to this section when I get there. Flatted, fixed my rear tire, plugged it, and then I got riding again, and I was like, shoot, I'm off the group. There was like that main lead group of 20 guys that got away that I was talking about earlier, and then like a big pack of dudes, like the peloton, I guess you would say. So I lost them. I was like, shoot, I'm way off the back now. No way I'm gonna catch them, but I was just riding along. And then a few minutes later comes Matt Beers and like 10 other guys, and
Why are you in front of Matt Beard?
because he ran 50 mil specialized Terra or tracers, and they kept flatting.
Trey's a fast
Matt Beers was way off the back with me,
Yeah.
and
he
I
still
think,
did well.
I
didn't
think
he?
without my flats, I think I would have been possibly like 9 hours and 30 minutes. Matt Beers somehow got 15th place.
That's what I mean. He still like
and,
did really well.
made it all the way basically up to the front. So from right at 2.5 hours to right at 3.5 hours, I was riding with Matt, or the group of Matt Beers group. We were hauling, and Matt Beers just sat on the front, never looked back to see if anybody else wanted to pull. He just had his head down and was straight cooking. For that, I have 59 minutes up. We were at 278 watts going. It says we averaged 17.6, but that doesn't seem right.
Well, it might be averaging, like, how long was your flat?
Oh yeah, my flat's in there too, which took I think like 3 minutes to fix because I was like plugging it. And this was when I had my CO2 taped here and my plug taped here, so I had to like rip the tape off, plug it, pump it up.
You didn't use the inflator?
The electric one?
Yeah.
No, I don't know why I didn't, because I should have.
Dang,
And I also
that
should have brought more CO2s and more darts. I've never had like a mechanical ever in like a mountain bike or gravel race. So I was like, yeah, I'll bring like one CO2 and one plug because I don't get mechanicals. And sure enough, Unbound was Unbound, and I had all the mechanicals.
I saw like so many bikes with CO2s just like taped everywhere, like under the saddle.
Yeah, so if you guys do Unbound, bring all of the flat stuff you can bring.
I agree with that from my experience last year.
Yeah.
I was noticing that everybody who was running Schwab tires did really well. Maybe we should have ran the Burts, dude.
Says the guy wearing the Schwalbe shirt.
Yeah.
There was a guy who commented on an old video we made. He was like gloating. Unbound wasn't won on 2.1s, and I was like, well, actually it was, because the women's race was won on 2.1 Thunderbirds. But
Yeah, there was those two guys that were up the road. One of them had on, they were huge. I don't know what size, because they weren't marked, and they were just a slick. They looked like the Renee Hurst, just slicks. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Schwalbe it is. I don't know how people didn't puncture freaking Thunderbirds.
Yeah, she won the race on the Burts, dude. The super
The
grass.
Birds are where it's at. Eventually I got dropped from Matt Beer's group. Can't remember if it was because I just straight up got dropped or I needed to re-inflate my tire, but I was no longer with them and got in a group with Truman Glasgow, Justin McQuarrie, and a couple other guys. And we were rolling pretty good. And then we went to the aid station and I got dropped from that group because I had to get my shifter fixed. When I was getting all my bottles changed and my pack changed and stuff, I just like, anybody got a 5 mil? And some kid ran over and he just started torquing it down for me. So we got that fixed, rolled out of the aid station, and it took like 5 or 10, probably only like 5 minutes to catch back up to that group I was with. So I got back with them, which was cool. Started rolling again, and like 5 minutes later, my rear tire was flat again. So I had to get off. I just hit it with, got it back pumped up, and then was solo for a few minutes, and then got caught by another group that had Alex Howes, the GCN guy. I don't know his last name. His name's Alex, I know that. And eventually Chad Haga caught up to that group too. Was rolling with them for like another hour or something until I had to get off and pump up my rear tire again. I did it pretty quick, was able to catch back on, and then we were rolling for a while, another hour, and then I had to pump up my tire again. But this time I was like, yo, I'll buy everyone a beer after the race if you stop with me so I can pump up my tire. Because we were all like just rolling pretty good. I honestly think I was taking more pulls than them, so they were probably like happy to keep me around. But as soon as I said, let's all stop or I'll buy you guys a beer, Alex Howes was like, I gotta pee. Let's all stop and take a pee break. So we did, except for one guy. He kept going, which was the same guy that never took a pull, except when it came to an uphill, he would like sprint and try to drop everyone. He wasn't like part of our group, you know? He wasn't a team member. We were happy that he was gone. So we all took our pee break and I fixed my tire and we went another like 5 minutes, and then I broke my front wheel, and that was the end of my race. So I made it 125 miles, 6 hours, and I was still feeling so good. Wasn't tired at all. My legs didn't hurt at all the next day. Like, I was just having a great race, just filled with mechanicals. Wish I could have finished, but I didn't. What do you think about that, Jesse?
It's like, it's kind of scary because it's like loaded. It could like...
Not right here. It's pretty...
Is it loose? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty loosey-goosey. I warrantied my wheel, and Reserve already got back to me and said they're going to send me a rim, so I have to rebuild it, which is kind of lame.
You're going to have to get all new spokes and stuff, too.
I know. I emailed them back, and I was like, are you sending new spokes? Because these are definitely bad.
I'm surprised that they're not just going to send you a wheel.
Yeah.
That's how Envy does it, too. You just
That's
send
how
it back.
everybody does it.
Literally every company just sends a wheel.
I've never heard of a warranty where you had to rebuild your wheel.
Yeah, I don't want to have to rebuild it.
Wait, I thought Reserve was the company that made all their marketing about breaking their rims on a staircase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I might respond and see if
Bro,
they can
I would ask them to just send you a wheel.
send me a new wheel, because I don't want to have to rebuild it. But a lot of people
I was in the
ask,
comments defending them. I was like, Reserve will, Reserve will fix it, like no problem. That's like what their whole company is.
A lot of people also asked like if it was Reserve's fault that this wheel broke. It was not their fault. We were coming down a hill, and at the bottom was like a creek bed type of thing, which had like slabs of rocks, not just like chunks, gravel. It was just like slabs. And off to the right side, it was like broken like this. And I tried to jump it because I was on somebody's wheel, two people's wheel. I was sitting third wheel. They kind of went around it last second. I didn't have time to swerve, so I just kind of pulled up, and it was like this wide, so I didn't make it all the way across and just landed on the rock. So I think any wheel would have broken in that situation. Definitely not reserve's fault.
You know what might have worked in this situation is actually those Vittoria like pool noodle liners. Like this is exactly why people run those.
I was saying if I had a downhill wheel with cush core in it, I still think it would have broken in half.
I don't. I think the cush core would have saved it immediately.
I was doing 30 miles an hour and hit a square edge like.
But like what you did though is like what was your front tire PSI?
Like mountain bike tire pressure.
So you were running like 18 PSI.
Yeah, 17.
So you effectively, it was a straight impact into the rim. The noodle would have saved the rim is what I'm telling you.
I don't think so.
I think
Not
it would
in this
have.
situation.
I think it would have.
I think like common rock strikes, yeah. But this was bad.
Did you get a shot of it, Chase?
Yeah.
So many shots.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Okay.
It's definitely broken.
I'm going to read Reserve's warranty policy, I think.
So for this race, when I do it again next year, I'm definitely going to run some more puncture resistant tires.
I think if you just ran the pool noodles, dude.
Well, that wouldn't stop the punctures from
happening.
Dude. One other thing I forgot to do was put race day sealant, Stan's race day sealant. I don't know if it would, I still don't think it would have clogged that hole. But the other ones that I got, it would have sealed even faster, even though it sealed all the other ones except for that one.
Do you think the Race Kings would have been more durable?
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Because like
I also just don't know if I had bad luck and hit the sharpest.
I can't
of rocks.
believe that you shredded these tires.
Shredded them.
Like
they
that's
have
crazy.
like 10 holes in them after the
very
race.
surprised.
And I've never had a flat before in a gravel race, and I got like 10 in this race. Another thing to report on is my Nirvana helmet. Even though it looks silly, this is my all-time favorite helmet now.
I think it looks cool.
I won't use it in training because it looks silly. It's hard to describe how well this vents. It has these big channels. It like sucks the air over the top of your head, and it feels like a wind tunnel on your head, which I don't know how they did it, but every helmet needs to be like this. This thing is sick. Hit us up for one of these.
I think it looks cool. I disagree with Trey. I think it actually looks cool.
It looks cool when you're like, especially in aero position, just chugging along.
Yeah, this is better than the Elemento has like that pad.
Yeah, the thicker pad.
And it's like a minor inconvenience. I have like sweat problems because my Elemento.
I never had the problem with the Elemento. I think my head just doesn't sweat as much or something.
I wonder if there's a way for me to like fix that. Like
I don't know. Maybe sweat less.
I don't know. I did more heat training than you guys did. Remember my trainer rides with my...
You did like 4 trainer rides with a sweatshirt on. I don't think that counts. I averaged 288 normalized watts. I feel like that was a good day for me, and I think I would have kept chugging along. These came in when I got home from Unbound. I was hoping to have them for my last Unbound marginal gain video. Brewworks is the brand. The Ascent bar. Look how narrow this guy is.
That
So
looks like it's made for a child.
I can't wait to run this thing.
That is not
When you
okay.
put it up against this one, it's actually not that much narrower. Where it like
yeah, you're
clamps.
already running the narrow.
Yeah.
Is it a 35?
It's a 30.
It's a 30. Oh, because it goes
At the
in.
hoods, yeah.
Okay. Is it like a 35 like to there?
30 hoods, 40 drops, 80 mil reach.
Okay.
So it's something.
Do they make a 44?
No, they only make that.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, they might make other bars, but like in this specific bar, it's only super narrow.
Can they make me a 44?
Probably, because
In
the
the-
shape is cool.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just want a 44 that's like this shape.
So we're going to do some testing on that guy, and I'm excited to test out super aero bars, narrow aero bars.
I like the ergo design of this. That's
Yeah.
why I want to use it.
It's
I just
cool.
don't want a narrow one.
I had Good Life in my bottle.
Yeah, we sell
Oh,
Good
we
Life.
do sell Good Life
Yeah.
now.
I
That's
sell
sick.
it because I tried it and I like it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wes
So
for helping us with that.
yeah, I've been using Good Life because Drew Dillman gave me a bag of it, and it's what I've been using in training, and I like it a lot. So I've been using that, and then I had my carbs fuel gels. I don't know if there's any. Yep, been eating those guys. I had 2 gels an hour and a bottle an hour, and then I just had like electrolyte mix in my pack, and was just chugging and getting all the carbs in, and was feeling real good. And then my wheel broke. Did you find the bar? Did they make other
No,
bars?
they make one size. Just so, like, if they're watching this, I would buy that if you had other sizes.
I think they're just into the super aero
Yeah,
stuff.
that's okay.
They're just like a super aero company.
What do you think is going to happen with this race? Do you think, like, it's going to stagnate for a bit? Do you think they're going to be more aero, or do you think there's going to be more suspension? Like, what do you think is going to happen after doing it?
I think people are just going to keep getting faster. Like, this race was raced like a 100-mile gravel race, but for 200 miles.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's just going to have to get to that level, and it's just going to be 25 mile an hour average, 200-mile long gravel race, which is crazy.
Why don't you think other races are like that?
They're getting there.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
like,
people are just like finding.
was Sea Otter that fast?
Yeah, definitely. Well, speed-wise, no, because it had almost as much climbing as this race did, but in 120 less miles. But I'm stoked that I was able to go hard for more than 100 miles. Usually, after a 100-mile race, I'm like just dead, and I went further than 100 miles and was still like fresh and ready to race. And I think I did more power for that 6 hours than I do for normal 5-hour races. And yeah, that's exciting. So Big Sugar, I'm stoked for Big Sugar and whatever other race I do this year.
Did you talk about this BB?
Yeah.
Seems like it works.
It worked just
Yeah.
fine. It didn't blow up
Did not blow up.
in pretty rough conditions, which is cool. Biggest shout out ever to my boy Jordan, who did my aid station, him and his wife. Look at the shirt he wore. It's got like cows and it's blue and it's green. And he was so easy to see in the aid station. He sent me a picture the night before the race and he's like, I hope you'll be able to find me in the aid station. I was like, yeah, that's the loudest shirt I've ever seen. He also picked me up when I broke my wheel because someone had to come pick me up.
One time I sold Jordan a bike.
And Jordan bought a bike from us, and his wife bought a Crux from us, so that's cool too. And he's coming to Big Sugar, so I'll see him there. Yeah, and I think that's it.
Are you going to ride mountain bikes with me now?
Yeah, we can do some mountain biking now. I can go back to doing group rides.
I've invited
I
Trey to
can-
so many things that he said no to.
I can do all this fun stuff now that I'm done with Unbound training that I did for no reason because I didn't finish the race. I'm going to do Little Sugar.
Now you have to go mountain biking with Jesse.
Yeah, I got to start training the
Dude.
mountain bike stuff.
Do you know a race on Saturday or Sunday, man?
You'll be there. I won't.
But see, like, it's still getting denied, y'all.
See y'all in the next video. Subscribe. Check out our merch because we have some of that now.
There's a lot of videos coming out.
Yeah.
I have like 4 videos edited that I can't post right now. There's going to be a week where there's like 20 videos that happen, so.
I'm sorry if Jesse eating pizza on camera
It's the fucking chewing.
upset you.
I'm triggered. I can hear it all.
I want this video to be over.
Bye.